Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. We're just wondering, with regards to this year, Brian Colangelo talked about leadership over the off-season. What have you seen in your years with so many basketball teams? What makes a good leader?
Well, that's a nice question. I think it's not just I would say one factor. I mean, leadership comes from different directions. I think it comes from goals that are being set, the way that you want to follow these goals and design your strategies, the way that you share these goals, and in order for the people around you to understand what you are looking at and why you want to reach these goals. I think creating around you in different ways, let's say the best possible conditions for dreaming something and trying to make it happen. Leadership is also a matter of example. It's a matter of, I think it comes from the ability also to understand issues, understand problems, realizing what the solutions might be, and try to be, let's say, in a realistic way, always positive, because you cannot lose sight of the goal that you're looking at. So.
Brian singled out that Anthony Parker was a great leader in his time with the Raptors as well. A lot of fans believe Jorge Garbajosa was such a great and influential leader on this team. What made those two people so special in their roles?
Well, I think the first thing that comes off my mind is the fact that they did not care about themselves, and that's what made them great leaders. They were ready to either speak in a loud way or speak by example, by sacrificing and playing on the court. And both of them were great examples. And we never spent enough time underlying how much we lost when Garbajosa went down that night in Boston. And because that kind of, complicated the growth of the team that we were actually putting together. But I think what makes leaders special is the fact that they always put the group ahead of themselves. And that's what I think Anthony and Jorge do all the time.
And in this particular Raptors iteration, like in this year's team, who do you think has the ability to pull that in this year? Like who on this team has shown you a little bit of that this year, that you can single and say, you know what, maybe that guy couldn't do it this year for us, as far as being a real team leader, somebody who can pull everybody together? Well,
I think in a way is a little bit of a new group for ourselves too. I think we're looking at a group of guys that have the potential to be that sort of a leader, but still have to make that step. So it's important that they understand what it takes and they want to make that step. But I think whether it's Amir Johnson, whether it's Andrea Bargnani, whether it's DeMar DeRozan, they all have the ability and the qualities to be leader. But it's important that they understand that being a leader means also, some personal sacrifices. But I think we're looking at a group of young players that they have that sort of a quality. And actually, if we just look at the most recent World Championship in Turkey, just going by example in a different way, but I would say both Kliza and Barbosa show a leadership quality by leading their own team, through the competition. So, and again, it's early. We haven't really stepped on the court yet, but I think we have players who who have the qualities to be leaders.
Talk about the importance of how Jared Jack spent some time with the youngsters over the course of the summer. He took some time, from my understanding, outside of his own schedule to come in and work with them. Tell us how that speaks to you about possibly him having some leadership qualities.
Well, he's one of the guys that I was thinking at when we were talking about qualities to be leaders. He not only because I always think that the point guard having the ball in his hands has a better chance to be a leader than the rest of the guys, but Jared has really worked throughout the summer in an amazing way, and I think he can only get better. Sometimes we tend to forget how young these players are and how they mature very quickly through experiences. And Jared has again, not just the role, but doing what he did this summer says a lot, that he wants to try to get to that role, try to become that sort of a leader. And I think that the team needs to be ready to accept him. If he keeps stepping up this way, I think the team needs to be ready to accept him in that role.
And one last question. You mentioned Linus Kleza in the World Championships, how he showed a little bit of his ability for leadership. What exactly kind of spoke to you in a way that you said that he kind of maybe mirrored a bit of Jorge Garbajosa's team on the Spanish team a little bit?
Well, Lithuania went into the competition without all their stars, and Kleza was the only basically quality player on a team that was questioned to eventually make it to the first round, and Linus, was clever at using his skills not just to be one of the top scorers of the tournament, but to be one of the best rebounders, one of the best passers. Good job on defense on the opposing top guy. Always there, cheering, always positive. I was personally surprised by the impact that he had on his team throughout the entire competition, and he was the reason why Lithuania, out of nowhere, got the bronze medal.
So we're going to be looking forward to seeing that on the Raptors, and thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.